Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. Let's jump right into today's explainer and sketch out the engineering blueprint for how AI agents actually read and process the Solana blockchain. We're currently navigating the module on interacting with on-chain state, which sits squarely inside our larger course on AI agents and autonomous systems on Solana. And of course, the whole thing is part of the massive Solana ecosystem track covering DeFi, oracles, AI, and applied protocols. So grab your mental hard hats because we have a lot of fascinating technical ground to cover today. Here is the quick schematic for today's explainer. We're going to map out the AI agent blueprint, break down the anatomy of accounts, look at finding data with PDAs, decode serialization, establish our trust and safety protocol, and wrap it all up with a locate and act pipeline.
All right, kicking things off with part 1, the AI agent blueprint, where we are essentially building our sensory systems.
If you caught our previous lesson on coordination, governance, and ethical considerations, you already know that before an agent can act ethically, it literally has to be able to read the facts accurately. And this brilliantly illustrates our core mental model. Your AI agent isn't plugging into some magical, infinitely searchable cloud database. No, it's inspecting isolated memory maps and very specific address books owned by programs. Grasping this is absolutely the secret to building lightning-fast, secure agents.
Moving right along to section 2, let's look at the anatomy of accounts, or what we like to call the basic hardware.
Let's pop the hood on the basic unit of state your agent is actually going to be inspecting, the account itself. Every single account bundles 4 really critical pieces of hardware. First up is the owner. This is the program's public key, and it's what stops your agent from accidentally misreading foreign data. Second, you've got lamports, which is the native sol balance, proving the account is active and holds enough funds to stick around on-chain permanently. Third is the data, literally the raw byte payload your agent actually reasons about. And finally, the executable flag, which just tells your agent, hey, am I looking at executable code right now, or just state?
Which brings us to section 3, finding data with PDAs. This is essentially your agent's navigation system.
You see, without a solid navigation system, your autonomous agent would basically be wandering aimlessly, endlessly scanning the entire chain looking for a needle in a massive cryptographic haystack. Enter the PDA, or program-derived address. I like to think of the program ID as the cookbook, the seeds as your specific ingredients, and the resulting PDA as the exact recipe location in the address book. Because they fundamentally lack a private key, ownership is tied directly to the program itself, giving your agent a totally stable, predictable handle on the state it needs.
And here's the real magic. Because PDAs are completely deterministic, your agent computes the exact address instantly from those known seeds. In computer science, we call this O of 1 discovery time. That means it takes the exact same split second to find your data, no matter how huge the blockchain gets. This completely saves your agent from performing those super expensive, incredibly brittle full chain scans.
Okay, let's jump into section 4, decoding serialization, which is all about translating those raw signals.
All right, so your agent found the account. Awesome. But now it's just staring at a literal wall of opaque, raw bytes. To make sense of it, we use serialization formats, basically translation dictionaries. Whether it's a fixed layout, offset, Borsh encoded structs, or custom packed arrays, your agent absolutely needs a map. In our Forge College programming modules, we constantly emphasize using an IDL, or interface description language. It lets your agent safely map these encodings into actual readable fields.
But that leads us to a kind of terrifying question. What happens if your agent gets the byte offset wrong by just one single place? Well, parsing a byte array with the wrong offset is literally like trying to read a book where every single word is shifted by one letter. It might be a hilarious prank to pull on a friend, but it is an absolute catastrophe for an AI agent that is making real-world financial decisions. One shifted byte, and suddenly your agent thinks a token is worth $1 million instead of a single cent. Yikes.
So how do we prevent that? Let's get into section 5, the trust and safety protocol, where we establish some firm boundaries.
The golden rule here is, just because your agent can accurately read the serialized bytes does not mean it should automatically trust them. You have to align your commitment level with your risk tolerance. Relying on confirmed data is great for low-stakes, casual monitoring, since it's faster, and if things rewind a bit, it's tolerable. But if your agent is about to execute a high-stakes, irreversible, autonomous action, like moving funds, you absolutely must demand the finalized level to guarantee stability.
Beyond just finality, your agent needs to act like the strictest bouncer at the most exclusive club in town.
It has to verify that the program owner public key matches perfectly. It needs to check the lamport balance and ensure the account is rent exempt so we know it's permanent. And finally, it should inspect the RPC metadata, essentially checking those change indicators and slot times, just to make absolutely sure it isn't looking at stale, outdated info.
All right, let's bring the whole thing together in Section 6, the locate and act pipeline. This is our final blueprint.
So here is the elegant, four-step operational workflow every agent needs to run to safely navigate on-chain state. Step 1, locate. Compute the PDA to find the account instantly. Step 2, validate. Be that strict bouncer. Check the owner and finality commitment. Step 3, parse. Apply your schema or IDL to safely translate the raw bytes. And finally, Step 4, act. Only after passing those first 3 rigorous gates should your agent actually execute its decision.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. If your agent relies on unverified, unfinalized on-chain state, who is really making the decision? Is it your logic, or is it just a malicious actor who spoofed a memory map? Always remember, one misread byte or a single missed ownership check compromises the entire operation, so keep things tight. Please head over to forge.college to dive deeper into these Web3 concepts, check out our courses, and make sure your agents are reading the right blueprint. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.